Hey guys, welcome to the Gear Kid channel. Today's video is going to be very special because in it will show you how the tomato ketchup that we eat every day with great enthusiasm is made in the factory. So you will be amazed at the whole process. Tomato ketchup is the most widely used sauce in the world. Ketchup is very popular with burgers, french fries, and many other things. Without it, these things are not fun to eat. And research has shown that tomato ketchup can be used to prevent diseases such as cancer. Everyone in the United States consumes about 3 quarts of ketchup a year. But do you know how tomato ketchup is made in a big factory? This video is a must-watch if you also eat tomato ketchup. Otherwise, you will miss a lot of important information. So let's start today's video without any delay. But before proceeding, click on the red button and subscribe to the Gear Kid channel so that you can keep up with the upcoming videos. Making tomato ketchup begins with growing beautiful red tomatoes. Tomato plants are planted with the help of an automatic machine. All you have to do is fit the roots of the tomato plants on a small conveyor on the machine. You're looking at a screen, and the rest of the work is done by the machine itself. This process requires human hands, but now the machine you're looking at is amazing. All you have to do is put the plant trays in it, and it picks up the plants from there and puts them in the ground. Just loading the tray once does all the rest automatically, which saves a lot of time. After about 6 to 8 weeks, the tomatoes are ready to be harvested, after which they're harvested with the help of a harvesting machine. This machine digs to the ground to a certain depth and harvests tomatoes. And with the help of the conveyor belt attached to it, everything goes into its main part. This machine separates all the plants and leaves from the tomatoes and puts them on a conveyor belt. This conveyor belt then neatly loads these tomatoes into a truck. Surprisingly, this machine does not harm the tomatoes at all, and it does all this with great speed, as you can see right now. This machine is really amazing. After harvesting, these tomatoes are brought to the factories. Did you know that there are more than 2,000 varieties of tomatoes? All the harvested tomatoes are unloaded by truck at the unloading section in the factory. All unloaded tomatoes fall on a conveyor belt, after which they are thoroughly washed with water which removes the dust from them, after which comes the next step of sorting them, which is done in 2 parts. In the first part, the workers separate all the tomatoes that are green and spoiled. Next, a machine does the same thing and separates the green tomatoes. The machine does this job with great speed. Green tomatoes are taken out from the other side of the machine. Tomatoes are then sent on a long conveyor belt. Going forward, boiling water is poured on these tomatoes so that their skin is completely melted so it can easily come off in the next step. To do this, the tomatoes are passed over a rubber rotating disc and hot water is poured over them with a rapid flow, which makes them peel off very easily. After that, many workers sort them again so that the tomatoes that do not meet the standards can be separated and the remaining peels can also be separated. After this process, these peeled tomatoes start to look very fresh. Then some of the tomatoes are packed in tin cans and sent to the market. These are used for fast cooking at home and in large hotels. When the tomatoes are well prepared for this process, they are stored in a large rotating tub that fills the tomatoes in tin cans. For this, many tin cans are placed on the conveyor belt, in which first a little bit of tomato juice is poured and then the peeled tomatoes are put in these cans. This filling machine works at a high speed. Later, workers put tomato leaves in boxes for freshness. They are then pushed forward with the help of a conveyor belt and they are sealed and packed. Finally, they're labeled and shipped to the market. Now let's talk about how the tomato ketchup is processed. The seeds and peels are separated and the prepared tomato paste is packed in containers and sent to the factory. Each container weighs about 1,300 kilograms. This tomato paste is sent to the blending machine in the factory. From the bottom of the blending machine, sugar syrup is added and then the tomato paste is added from the top. Rotating the blender starts mixing the syrup with the paste. To enhance the taste of the tomato ketchup during mixing, mixed spices such as garlic and onion powder are added to the mixture. After blending, the ketchup is placed in a pasteurizer at about 100 degrees Celsius for 30 seconds. After the heating process, the tomato ketchup is completely ready, after which it is time to pack it. After the bottles are thoroughly cleaned, they are then sent to the filling machine with the help of a conveyor belt and filled with ketchup. Did you know that June 5th is celebrated as Ketchup Day? Caps are applied to these bottles after filling. The bottles are then left to cool for an hour. Then they're labeled after. In the end, a robotic machine wraps the bottles and they're sent to the market for us. That's all in this video. If you liked the video, share with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You will not regret it. See you in another video. Take care.